Hey everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Awakening Podcast. This is your host, Cosmic Colleen, back with another weekly astrology update. Thursday, September 12th, the Sun is in Virgo and it will be squaring Jupiter in Gemini. Sunday, the 15th, Venus will be in Libra and it will trine Jupiter in Gemini. Then, on Tuesday, the 17th, we have a partial lunar eclipse, full moon in Pisces, and that will be conjunct Saturn and go opposite Mercury in Virgo. And then on Wednesday, the 18th, we have the official Mercury opposite Saturn energy. Let me tell you something, guys. This upcoming week, these next 8 days are going to be all about the mutable signs. The mutable signs, that's my Gemini, my Virgo, my Sagittarius, my Pisces. You guys are going to be feeling the energy the most. Pretty much no other sign, honestly, except for these placements. But this counts, guys. If you have one of those mutable signs, you have it a rising, a moon, a Mercury, a Venus, the main planets, a Saturn, like any of those placements that you guys have in the mutable energy, you will be feeling this energy as well. So keep that in mind. It's not just going to be my mutable Sun, Moon, and Risings, though those will be the biggest, the most impactful. But if you have other mutable transits, like I said, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, in one of those signs, you will also be feeling this. For instance, people with Jupiter and Gemini, you guys are going to have a Jupiter and Gemini return. You're in your Jupiter and Gemini return right now, and this energy will be squared Jupiter. So just, if you're not sure your chart, go real quick and say, okay, what do I have in Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces? Everyone else, you guys are going to be spared. You will not be feeling these energies, okay? The best thing I like to say before we get into these energies, because there's lots of good and there's, some harder things as well, is that this is happening in the mutable energy, which I always say I love when there's bigger transits in the mutable energy because it's not always so concrete. Sometimes when things unfold that we don't love, it is not super concrete. So, big week for you guys, big week for my mutable energy. And this energy I like to describe is shit or get off the pot. We know that saying, right? This energy, it's time to shit or get off the pot. It's time to do what you've been saying you're going to do or stop talking about it. It's that we are now making decisions. We are now pulling the trigger. We are now pushing past fear. All those inevitable, avoidable things that some of us have been avoiding. My Pisces, Sagittarius. Actually, all of you guys may be avoiding some of those things, my mutable, but especially Pisces placements, shit, or get off the pot. Now, it begins, right? That's begin with this energy with the opposite. We have the square to Jupiter and Saturn happening, right? I'm sorry, we have the square to Jupiter and the Sun happening right now, but Jupiter and Saturn are still in a 3-degree range, pretty close together, still adding and feeling that energy. So some of the things and some of the ways that this will show up is it begins with introducing new beliefs or bringing back old ways or old beliefs that have worked for you. However, this comes through a little bit of grit and frustration. Sick of your own bullshit, like we said, which will come to light tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and a little bit Saturday. But by Saturday, we're like in our getting past the frustration, and now we're in the solution part. But again, Thursday, Friday, tiny bit Saturday, but Saturday is more of the solution. And that begins with the Sun in Virgo, squared Jupiter and Saturn. This energy can also have you feeling very fractured, very all over the place thinking, which a lot of my mutable signs maybe have, especially my Mercury ruled people, my Gemini and my Virgo. Your thinking is always concise, not concise. It is concise. You know what you're thinking. It's usually very forward thinking. It's very fast thinking. And there's been some fractured energy since Jupiter has entered into Gemini. Remember, in the summertime, it was conjunct Mars, and then it's been square or in the energy squaring Saturn. So again, fractured feeling, all over the place feeling, thinking. One day you have this decision and you know what you're going to do, and then the next day you have a brand new viewpoint on it, and then you don't know what to do, which is very Mercury, taking on new viewpoints all the time. Mercury placements are so open-minded that they're often shifting. That's why they can be associated with seeing two sides, right? There's so many parts of the mind, and they understand all of the open ways of the mind. So for my Mercury ruled people, like we said, this has you feeling fractured and all over the place. You may have trouble really pinning down where or what to do with this energy, other than you need a change or you need a new mindset change towards something. Overanalyzing conversations and overreacting to them, that is going to be one of the themes. And that's one of the themes that probably have been showing up for you since we've been in Virgo season. Maybe my Virgo placements have been feeling that a little bit more. Mutable placements, you guys are going to be mentally and physically blocked with this. All week, you're going to be mentally, physically blocked up until probably that partial lunar eclipse in Pisces next week. But I also was thinking that I find that where there's a block, there also seems to be a breakthrough somewhere else in your life, somewhere else in your mind. You may not always be able to see it because you're so focused in, so laser thinking on that block that you don't see the other ways that energy is pushing through. All energy isn't just blocked at once in our mind, body, and soul. There's sections, there's fractions, there's the chakra places. Those are blocked. So one might be blocked. But if you start opening your mind and saying, hey, let me just walk away from this blocked thing that I know is happening right now, and let me focus on what is open, you will find that somewhere else in your thoughts, in your ideas, in your energy, in your actions, there is a breakthrough. There is opening up. It might be small in comparison to what you feel is blocked, but there definitely is that. And maybe the blocks needed, right? Maybe we need these blocks so we can focus on something else for a while. Just kind of when you have computer issues, right? And they say, turn it off, leave it alone for a little bit, and then come back and turn it on. That's sometimes the block. Sometimes we can get so focused on what we're blocked on that we can no longer break through that block because we don't have any new or other mindsets to hold on to teach us how to plow through that block. So don't get so uptight. Don't get so focused on that block. Say, where am I breaking through? Or have acceptance that you are just mentally blocked right now and that there is a reason why something is mentally blocked. Sometimes it just is what it is. It's the astrology transit and you're like, okay, I'm creatively blocked right now. I just need to be here. Why am I creatively blocked? Maybe I need to spend more time on my house. I have been kind of creatively blocked for the last 2 weeks. A few weeks, honestly. And by creative, my creativity comes through my minds and my words. And there's been, like I said, sort of fractured, right? I'm almost all mutable placements. So I have been, as much as I can, not focusing on it or harping on it or feeling like there's something wrong with me. I did a huge chakra meditation I'm feeling very blocked in my lower parts, my sacral, my solar plexus. So I took this giant smoky quartz I have, and I used that to really ground me. And I'm trying to keep coming back. Now, back to the blocks. Blocks, again, mean that we need to make a shift. It's almost like, okay, that road is blocked. Let me go around that. That's the other side, right? We have to find a new way, a new detour. And when we find that new detour, sometimes that opens our minds in ways we never thought could. So trust the block. This is big breakthrough energy, though, breaking through the block, especially when we get to the eclipse. Now, the shift will begin to happen around the eclipse next Tuesday. We'll probably feel it Monday evening into Wednesday evening, maybe even Thursday morning. But this is just a preview, okay? I just want to let you guys know we're having a partial lunar eclipse, so a full moon, but a partial eclipse. Now, this is just a small glimpse into the next eclipse season, which is Pisces and Virgo, which will kick off with this one, and we'll start kicking back, we'll really kick off next spring, and we will slowly then get out of the Libra, Aries eclipses. I know you guys are like, whew, okay, I'm over that, because when a sign is in having its eclipse season, that brings the bigger changes, the bigger shifts. It's like a domino effect. Little things happen in your life that sort of change the trajectory or the course or just the overall way that you are going towards life, and sort of destiny comes in and plants little things. And usually that is beautiful. It's scary sometimes, but it leads to new beautiful things. So again, this next week's eclipse will just be a little bit of a peek. It sort of breaks it open, right? It breaks open that door. Next week, we kind of walk through the door, the other side, and then the rest of the eclipse season over the next 18 months, 2 years, will be playing out throughout the rest of that door. We only now are we're opening the door and we're walking through and we're getting a preview of that door. The rest of the steps, like I said, will play out over the next 18 months to 2 years. So this isn't going to be such a major eclipse, but again, pay attention, do a journal, write down how this eclipse energy shows up for you, because then you will get a bigger idea into what this eclipse season will look like for my mutable signs. Again, it's going to be Virgo and Pisces that feel it the most, but Sag and Gemini will be in that energy as well. Step through that door, baby. Step through that door. Now, anytime, right, we are in mutable energy like this, especially anytime we're in mutable energy like this, the fixed signs, you guys, I love you guys, but you and the cardinal signs too, not as much Aquarius, but the cardinal and especially the fixed signs, not so much. Aquarius is fixed, but Aquarius can handle the chaos a little bit, right? Aquarius knows how to keep it moving within the chaos. Sometimes it gets overwhelmed. It doesn't quite let go, or go with the flow as much as the mutable signs. But my fixed signs, my cardinal signs, you guys have a much harder time when we are in this mutable sign energy this weekend and next. And I want to tell you guys, this is big time mutable energy. And what do I mean by that? Well, by mutable signs, when it's just another crazy day having to shift, change, cancel, gain, be the most flexible person in the room, change your mindset, be able to do something last minute, something big last minute, end something big last minute. My mutable signs, we do that energy very well. We know that energy. That's how we show up in energy. We understand that life isn't this construct of like, okay, at 6 p.m. we're going to do here, and then at 8 p.m. and then I promise you I'm going to be here at there. That's actually really not how life works. But a lot of people, my fixed energy likes to have this very concrete knowledge. It makes them feel safe. It makes them feel secure. Mutable energy does not need that. So that's why I'm saying my fixed signs, my cardinal signs, you guys have a much harder time being in this energy that we're about to experience starting today, well into the end of next week, because you're going to have to learn, okay, when you're in this crazy energy, yes, your life won't seem so crazy because I said it's the mutable energy, and the mutable energy knows how to handle that. But the energy around you will feel very wonky. It will feel unplanned. It will feel sporadic. It will feel sudden. It will feel a little bit chaotic. It will feel a little bit all over the place. And what do I say during any Mercury retrograde? Mercury is trying to teach you to be flexible and go with plan B, C, D. Don't put expectations on how things play out. Just allow them to play out. So we can shift, right? Mutable energy can shift depending on which way the wind blows. But my other signs in general, you guys don't know how to do that. So this gives you a chance to learn how to do that, because I think that's one of the benefits. We all can get various things from different signs. And that's one of the benefits my other signs can get from my mutable signs it's just going whichever way life flows, the wind blows, and trust in that, and stop putting expectations on so much fixed things, the way you think life has to go. Again, this is going to be a lot of moving parts that you guys are going to have some harder times with. And I understand, and you need to understand that, again, throughout the day, the movements over this time will not be very permanent. Your movements over the next 8-9 days, my fix will feel, like I said, out of place, out of ordinary, lots of shifts, lots of changes. And again, we need to learn to be adaptable and be okay when things don't go as planned. Okay? Get it in your head. If something doesn't go as planned, be okay with it. Trust the timing of the universe. I impeccably trust. How about that for that big word? Trust the timing of the universe. I think I've shared about this. Years ago, I stopped getting mad a long time. I know, not that I really got mad, but when I'm at the salon and someone has to cancel last minute or someone forgets about their appointment, I literally stopped. I said, okay. And I have learned when I don't have any reaction to it, it always has worked out on time. I've had it where a client had no appointment, or I didn't think she had an appointment. Like a client randomly says, hey, I can't make it to my appointment today, 15 minutes before. I've had this happen multiple times. Somehow another client walks in at that same time and says, I have an appointment right now. Well, I didn't know that, but how about that, right? The universe was looking out for me ahead of me when I didn't even know. And so when I let go of those reactions, I just trust, and I've learned that everything works out exactly the way it should. And if you have any doubt, again, talk to my mutable signs, because that's something natural that comes to us, is we trust the flow of the universe. We trust the flow of energy, and everything happens exactly as it should. Now, Sunday the 15th, Venus will be in Libra, trine Jupiter in Gemini. I'm loving this energy. I'm loving this energy right before we have this eclipse. As a Gemini, let me tell you something. Find me any other Libra, and we will not shut the fuck up, okay? Libras, they love to talk, and so do Geminis. That's Gemini's main hobby. I would say Geminis love to talk just a little bit more, because that's all we know what to do, is communicate outward. And Libras love to talk too in the air sign. So when you get a Libra and a Gemini together, it brings out the most ultra chatty two people you can ever imagine. Like anytime I'm with a Libra and a Libra Mercury, we don't shut up. Like we just start talking like we have been the best of friends forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and we just met in one moment. That's always the energy. Yes, that energy shows up with other Geminis, but sometimes I find myself, included the other, will be like we're just like talking over each other. Back. No, I know this fact. 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 Where with the Libra Gemini, it seems to just flow. Again, we bring it out. So with this energy, very chatty weekend, very chatty flow this weekend. This transit is a great transit for going out and having fun Saturday night, Sunday. I'm loving this for going out and having fun. So if you want to go out this weekend, you weren't sure about the vibes, Saturday night is going to be feeling good. Sunday is going to be feeling good. It's going to be a good time had by all. So definitely do not hesitate going out Saturday night if you feel like it. This will bring harmony with friends, family, sisters. And if there has been some silences, this weekend should break those silences. Doing a lot of something you like is a theme for this weekend. Remember, this is Venus trine Jupiter. My impulse shoppers, if you want to buy something big or impulsive, do it this weekend. You won't regret this one. If you remember, like a month ago, I said, do not buy anything, all right? This is one transit where you can buy something impulsive and you will not regret it. Lots of heartfelt sharing and oversharing, right? This is an oversharing transit, but that kind of like, I just met you, but I can't believe our connection, and I'm just going to overshare about my entire life. Feeling supported by friends, sharing and giving support to others, turning a mindset practice into a belief, and understanding deep ideas and concepts. How is that before we jump into this eclipse energy? Now, back to the eclipse, the partial eclipse. Again, this is beginning the eclipse portal. This is a full moon. This is beginning the eclipse portal that will kick off next spring. This eclipse will also be going opposite with Mercury in Virgo. It will begin the eclipse day and the strongest the day after. And this will be conjunct Saturn. So, again, I'm sorry, Mercury will go opposite Saturn the next day, but it does happen during this eclipse energy too. They're like 1 degree away. So this day will feel very Mercury retrograde-like. Next Tuesday, probably starting next Monday into next Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, honestly, Thursday afternoon. It will feel very Mercury retrograde-like. Communication will be slow. It will be stopped. It will be blocked. While driving, you can be slow, dropped, blocked as well. But the theme here is balance and breakthroughs. You will receive a message. You may receive a message from higher realms or even a boss where you have to see, in your life where you need to take something more seriously, right? We have Saturn there, so it's responsibilities. It's taking things serious. This is sort of light the fire under your ass. If you remember what I said at the beginning of the episode, shit or get off the pot. This will make you mentally spacey. I love to call this kind of a sober transit. Again, when I mean sober, I don't just mean drugs and alcohol. I mean shopping, love, anything that takes you out of that haze a little bit, that brings you back down, grounds you back into reality, a sober transit. Gemini, Virgo, you're going to be a little bit more mentally scatterbrained again. You're going to come back together this weekend, and then next week be a little bit more scatterbrained. There's going to be hard truths, seeing really, no longer confused about a thought process. You know exactly which way you need to take a thought process. Jupiter in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces, they have been very, very close to this square. So again, that's why all over the place, and this will sort of close that all over the place gap for a little bit. And when we see the reality of something, we may have been instantly detached. So over these last couple months, when we've seen the reality of something, we may be instantly detached from it. We can no longer be detached from it. The truth, the answers are going to be there within this transit, within this eclipses. They're going to bring messages of endings, okay? And it may be just planting the beginning of the ending. It may be at the end, you're told an ending that then shifts your whole trajectory of your life, and then you spend the next 2 years in eclipse season that unfolding. Or it could be just a slow message, and then the ending plays out next eclipse season. Responsibilities, they come to a head, feeling overwhelmed with responsibilities, or just the facts of life will definitely be a little theme. Breaking through your mind, finally, we're going to be building up to that, but breaking through your mind, that shifts you into a new mindset, shifts you into a new mental reality that then again you need to play out over the eclipse season of Virgo and Pisces. Remember, this is just a preview of what's to come. It is not permanent. It is not going to be major, but it will be a preview of what to come. So for my mutable placements, I would definitely take a little notebook, and next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever happens to you, write it down. You don't even need a notebook. I'm sure you can get it on one slice of paper and keep it for you next spring, next fall, when you maybe are a little bit confused, or you want a deeper wondering into what is going to play, or how is it going to play out for you? What is eclipse season going to look forward to? You have this little piece of paper that says, okay, that's the beginning of all of this. So the themes will be surrounding this for now. I hope everyone has a good weekend. We are back 3 weeks into school already. I'm like, how the hell did that even happen? My kids were good. This morning I thought I'd be able to get up ahead of them, but of course it never fails. They woke up at the same time as me, but I don't think we heard them in the background. I want to remind everyone the best way to support this podcast is to rate, review, share on social media, share it with a friend. That is how I get this podcast out there, and you guys continue to do that for me, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful, and you are putting the word out there, and you're helping bring awareness and change people's mindsets through this podcast, and that will shift their life. So thank you for being this awareness hero and supporting this podcast. I love you guys. Have a beautiful week and a beautiful full moon partial eclipse.